Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This is what's called hitting two birds with one stone. Russia, unfortunately, after the assassination of Dugina, Daria Dugina, the daughter of Alexander Dugin, in Moscow, they now point who the perpetrators of this crime were or was. In this case, unfortunately, they found Ukraine and Estonia. So Estonia, why Estonia? Not because Estonia planned it, but because the perpetrator, or at least alleged perpetrator, he or the suspect, he fled to Estonia. So you know what that means. That means that Russia will demand that person to be returned to Russia, which Estonia will decline straight. So let's see what's going on with this article that I found from Los Angeles Times, August 22nd, 2022. Russia blames Ukraine for bombing near Moscow that killed nationalist ideologue's daughter. Not a mass media, not a free press, not a press person. No, it's just they labeled her as the daughter of a nationalist ideologue. If that would have happened, I don't know, somewhere else and would be a weasel from CNN or from somewhere else, and doesn't matter from what, I'm not saying, I'm just pointing out to an example or scenario, I'm pretty sure everybody would be in arms to what happened, horrible and all that. Here, she's just a Russian nationalist, the daughter of a nationalist ideologue. This is how much they value life if life is not on their side ideologically, you know. Russia's top counterintelligence agency Monday blamed Ukrainian spy services for organizing the killing of the daughter of the leading Russian nationalist ideologue in a car bombing outside Moscow. Daria Dugina, the 29-year-old daughter of Alexander Dugin, a philosopher, writer, and political theorist, not terrorist, theorist, whom some in the West describe as Putin's brain, died when an explosive plant in her SUV detonated as she was driving Saturday night. Russia's Federal Security Services, or FSB, the main KGB successor agency, said Dugina's killing, or you can call it FBI, and it has different, anyway, that's the same, they work on the same field. Do you think they are different somehow? Killing has been prepared and perpetrated by the Ukrainian special services. No, that's not good. On Sunday, Ukraine's president advisor Mikhailo Podolyak denied any Ukrainian involving in the killing. I don't think he would be like, yeah, bring it on. In Monday's statement, the FSB accused a Ukrainian citizen, Natalya, that's a woman's name, can they be terrorists too? Natalya Vovk, of perpetrating the killing and then fleeing from Russia to Estonia. So Natalya, the FSB said that Vovk arrived in Russia in July with her 12-year-old daughter and rented an apartment in the building where Dugina lived to shadow her. It said that Vovk and her daughter were at a nationalist festival which Alexander Dugin and his daughter attended just before the killing. The agency said that Vovk and her daughter left Russia for Estonia after Dugina killing, using a different vehicle license plate on their way out of the country. Dugin has been preeminent proponent of the Russian world concept. Okay, I'm going to skip all this thing. The explosion took place at Dugin's daughter was returning from the cultural festival she has attended with him. Russian media reports cited witnesses as saying the SUV belonged to Dugin and he had decided at the last minute to travel in another vehicle. The car bombing, usual for Moscow, usual for Moscow, every other weekend, since the turbulent 1990s, is likely to aggravate tensions between Russia and Ukraine. Please whistle add Estonia. Estonia is going to be the one, and Ukraine, yes. On Sunday, Denis Pushilin, head of the Russian-backed self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic, Ukrainians East, quickly blamed the blast on terrorists of the Ukrainian regime trying to kill Alexander Dugin. While Dugin's exact ties to Putin are unclear, the Kremlin frequently echoes, yeah, it's like if you say today, and Hitler said, they'll use the word today, and Stalin used the word today, you're somehow associated with them because you use the same words as this guy, or same ideas. I think that, you know, a person should love his nation. Oh my God, you're like Hitler. Oh my God, you're like this, you're like that. We use concept. The concepts are as they are. They don't belong to that person or that person or that person, especially like these ones. So they say they Kremlin frequently echoed rhetoric from his writing and appearances on Russian state television. All right, so Dugin, who was slapped with U.S. sanctions and European sanctions, has promoted Russia as a country of piety, traditional value, and authoritarian leadership. You know what I mean? Raw, strong leadership, and spoke with disdain about Western liberal values, which I'm thinking here call them perverted, right? Or perversions. Anyway. So this is the situation here with Dugina. It's the main perpetrators. They already decided. It's you can call them suspects if you want, but I think in the eyes of the of the FSB or whatever, KGB, however you want to call it, they already know who did it. So they say the services from Ukraine plus this woman. I didn't know women could be vile or vile. I think here they said that they can't. So that's not a good advertisement of women, it seems like. But I'm not gonna stay on that one. It's just that this person killed the other person. And she ran away to Estonia. Is there a reason why she didn't stay in Ukraine? Just to cover her tracks or something. So Estonia, you got to give her Natalya back to Russia. You've gotta. Otherwise, now you're gonna see the Russian squads going over there. Now you're gonna see poisoning. Yeah. Now you're gonna see Novichok and another Kopochok, London style. This is gonna be not Novichok. I think it's gonna be flying from apartment buildings and I don't know, trucks hitting and rolling over cars, kind of incidents, or I don't know, someone's gonna be found strangled somewhere, or you know, committing suicide all of a sudden. These are the ones, or maybe have a heart attack or a mini stroke. All right, well, this is the situation, and Estonia is in big trouble, and Ukraine. Now, obviously, the Russians will try to say, okay, this is a criminal state, Ukraine. So now you have your proof of us, one being state sponsors of terrorists. Now it's you who are state sponsors of terrorists. Here is the proof. Now, is there a connection between Natalya and services, the Ukrainian secret service or whatever they are? I don't know. These guys could have said they're connected with, I don't know, Michael Jackson or something. Whatever they want to say. Obviously, they just point whomever they want. Now they got a list and say, okay, which would be the most preferable to pick, and what would be the implications. And that's how it was, possibly. But maybe Natalya is the one. I don't know. We'll find out. Estonia. How I would like to see what happens. I would like to see what happens, because Estonia had a big mouth, and Estonia has what, a million people or something. That's the population, so it's a village. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth and for Natalya, and be just. See ya.